everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nicole, and if you are new here, there is a red subscribe button that you can click to be notified every single time that I upload a new video. And if you are returning, hey, welcome back. As you can see by the title, today we are talking about the Disney Key collection. If you've been around my channel for a bit now, you've seen in a few videos that I have this lovely Disney store key collection. I also have a video, what, 2-3 years ago, of going and opening up the Disney store. I'll link that up here too. It's a spotty video because I was trying to record it and deal with my niece that she was supposed to be living there because they do it with little kids, but that's a whole different other story. Check out that video if you like. But if you know, those frames behind me used to be full of keys like this one. Now, this is a hot mess. These are the keys that I've been collecting for my niece while she doesn't live with me. She lives up in Orlando, but I've been collecting the keys for her as like her set. I also have my own set. I have majority of the keys. She doesn't have every single key, but she has a few. But these were all full of keys, and it got to a point where I will throw a picture here on the side where my wall here was just full of frames, and I was getting very how do I put this? It was bothering me a lot, like my anxiety about it and worrying about frames falling. That was very bothersome to me. I'll show you a close-up because these are shadow boxes. However, I took a piece of plywood and drilled little holes in it and used teacup hooks to hang them on. And this is scrapbooking paper for these two Tinkerbell ones. So you saw it on the picture, and I'll post it up here again just in case. I wanted to keep the teacup hooks, so I decided that I wanted to do one big display for all of them in one instead of splitting them up, as the Disney keys are something they've released, for example, 3 Frozen keys, and I had one Frozen key in one display, one Frozen in another box, and it was just like they were all over the place. I do collect them and display them in order of their release, but we'll get into that more. Here's a close-up of the shadow boxes. I do have a lot. So there are my niece's copies. As you see, another Ink and Paint and Star Wars. Those are my nieces. These little hooks. I feel so bad for getting rid of these two Tinkerbell ones because I love it, which is why I made them. But I don't know. I might keep them just in case. But they will be going with this one. And yeah, I probably will give all 4 of these to my niece. Even though she doesn't have a big collection like I do, she will have her own set. But I do have this one. This is the only shadow box that I'm keeping at the moment. It is a cork board behind the paper of Disney so that I can put the pins. As you can see, these are my pins, the Pluto and the green daily opening one. If more pins come out, then I have space for at least, I mean, I could probably fit 9 in there, honestly. But that's gonna be the only one that's keeping a shadow box for now. My idea was to get a big piece of plywood. Originally I was thinking of like a 20 by 20 because each of these frames are 12 by 12s. However, I was only able to fit 6 keys in majority of them. This one I did wonky because of the little Tinkerbell paper. I did 5 there, but my father ended up getting me a piece of plywood that was like 34 by something, basically a flat screen TV size. He got me 2 of them, which you'll see next clip. And we are currently in the process of staining them black because it was just like a brownish wood color. Staining it black. I also have brand new little teacup hooks, which are silver, and I'll show you guys a close-up of this. I'm gonna do the beauty guru thing. Silver little 1-inch teacup hooks, which we will then drill a hole in the wood and apply them, and then we're gonna put them up on the wall. So this video might take a few days of filming and editing together. Hopefully you get this all done this weekend because it is a long weekend. But we'll see what happens. Right now, at the time of filming this clip or this portion of the video, I have every single key that has been released. Now, there is one key which is a Toy Story key, and you'll see later that's already been released in the European market. However, I do have a UK key buddy which will get me any UK exclusive keys, and I will get any US exclusive keys, and we would send them to each other. So basically we are the middleman. So she'll buy the stuff and then I'll pay her her money and she'll send it to me, and vice versa. When there's any US exclusive keys, she will tell me she wants it, I'll buy it, and then she'll send me the money and I will ship it off to her. So far, she has been able to get me the ink and paint key, which again, you'll see all the keys, and the Toy Story anniversary key. Those two were released in the European market before they were even announced in the US market. As of filming right now, the ink and paint has already been released in the US, so I do have a US version and a UK version. I will use the US version to trade eventually for a key I don't have, or whatever the case may be. Right now there are, I believe there's a box set of 4 that's set to be coming out in 2 weeks on October 17th. Depending on when this goes out, it could have already passed or come. That box set was leaked onto Shop Disney, and some people got it, some people did not. I am one of those that did not. Part of that box set, they also released a Christmas ornament, which you'll see here on the screen. That was leaked online as well earlier with the 4 boxes. Both were taken down. Luckily, the ornament was already released in the US. I was able to buy 2 of them. It just hasn't shipped yet, so whenever that comes, it will be added on to the display somehow. Even though it's a Christmas tree ornament, I bought 2, so one for display and one for the Christmas tree, or maybe one for my niece. I don't know, I haven't decided yet. Let's see. And then there is a Black Widow key that has been announced for here in the US, which actually comes out very soon. I don't know the date, but it comes out very soon. As of right now, as of filming this clip, it has not been released yet in the United States. It was actually released already on the European markets, which I did not request the European version because it's coming out in the US. Little do we know, because actually everybody in the key community found out at the same time that the US version will be a boxed key, like how the Cinderella and Pluto keys were. And you'll get close-up of these as well. I'm going to show you details and explain each and every single one. Now, I did find a Etsy shop that does custom little shadow boxes for them. So I bought 2, one to have these individual keys stacked up on each other, and then the one for the 4-pack that I discussed earlier today. I am kind of upset that they keep releasing these box keys, because now with the way I'm displaying them, I don't have all the keys gone together hanging, so it will be a hot mess. And there is the US release of the Toy Story key that is supposed to come out in November. Now, before I go and I show you all my keys and I talked about them a little bit, I do want to show this picture, or this lovely edits that somebody did to keep track of all the keys that have been released to date. There are about 8 of them that I do not have, which would be the top 6 that you will see on the very top of this picture, which is the Vine Key, the Harrods, New York, Paris, 30th year or the 30th store grand opening. So those top 6 are very hard to come by, so New York is now, they don't release the New York ones anymore, so that's now very hard to get. Paris, you could do Paris, but you gotta fly to Paris and hope there's only one store in Paris. So they're like the rare, shiny, hard to get, unless you have thousands of dollars that you want to spend on a piece of plastic for. But then there's also 2 more boxed keys at the bottom, which are the cast member exclusives that came out about a year and a half ago to cast members. Now, cast members have sold these keys off, and they are going for anywhere about $200 to about $500, depending on whether it's the Stitch key or the Christmas special key. I do not want to spend more than $100 on a piece of plastic. Even though I would love to have all the keys and have the complete collection, that's just not in my budget. But let's go ahead and show off all the keys. So here are the two pieces of boards. As you can see, I've been messing around to see how many keys I can fit across. Also, if I like the tags in the back of it, or I just like no tags in the back. I'm still debating which one I want, but I can actually fit 14 keys across, and then I'll have 2 rows on each board, so I'll have 14 on the top, 14 on the bottom, and then a second board with 14 and 14. So I'll have 28 keys on each board, which is great at this point. But here's the dilemma. Those are box keys. Now, yeah, those are doubled, so you can see, and you'll get clips of explaining that as well. But with box keys, you can't hang them. So here is the US Cinderella 70th anniversary key. I do have 2. I was able to buy one in store, and I was able to get one online. So I do have 2. Originally, the intentions were to take one out of the box and hang it up with the rest of them. However, this does not have a tag version, so it would be weird if I do have, well, in the old display case, none of them had the tags behind them. In this new scenario, if I do use the tags, then it won't have a tag. However, the European market, their Cinderella key was not released in boxes. They were released with the tags like the other keys. So maybe I'll look into buying a Cinderella key from the European market and have a tag, but then I won't know what to do with these. And then I will have a scenario where, like in my Pluto keys, I have a bunch of them. So Pluto Key was released with a merch pass. I don't have very much luck with merch pass, so I had 4 friends to assist me. There's only 3 keys here in boxes. The 4th one is in a display case for my niece. I gave her one, but as you can see, here is Pluto's key. Same thing in the European market. He was released with a tag and not in a box. It seems the US only does box keys for some reason. But along with Pluto came a Pluto Pin, which I have 3 of these. One went to my niece, one's in a display case, and this is a spare which I will use to trade or to sell eventually. I don't know, I haven't decided yet. Most likely it will be a trader for future ones that I don't acquire. Same thing with these 2 Pluto key boxes. Now, as I said, my friends assisted me with this. I had 4 friends. Well, 3 friends, with me being the 4th, all sign up for the merch pass. Little did I know, all 4 of us got selected to get the keys and the pins. So now I have extras, but I will use them to trade. This box is the only one that came in great condition. It has a little ding, like it's kind of folded, but this one was actually shipped in a shipping box and not a mailer envelope like the rest of my friends, where they were just sent an envelope, so their boxes came up all destroyed. So I debated whether I wanted to open the box since they're already destroyed. They're not really that bad, but like they're not pristine conditions. They're all bent out of shape and the corners are whatever. So I was debating whether to take one out of them and hang it up with the rest of them. But again, if I choose to have all of the tags displayed, then it will be weird. And before I move on to the rest of the keys, there's also these pins that came out. It's the opening of the store pin. I do have about 5 of these. One is in a display box with the other Pluto pin, and then the rest of them I have for extras for trading or whatever the case may be. So now to get into these lovely ones. First key I'm gonna start off is with the grand opening key. Let's not call it the daily Disney store opening key. Now currently the Disney stores are not offering the opening ceremonies because of COVID-19. So this is what it currently is. There are rumors that this design is going away, and there is a new daily opening store key coming out. However, due to COVID-19, there are no confirmations of that. Everything's been, and I don't want to say hush hush, but like it's just rumors. It could be all fake, but for now, this is what they give out for the daily opening keys. This did come with an informational tag, not like a pretty character tag like the rest of them. When I got this one back in 2017, I didn't care. I threw away the tag, so now I'm kind of upset with it. But maybe whenever they decide to restart doing, I will go and take my niece again to get a new one, and we'll have a tag for it, and then she can have one of these keys and I will have one of these keys, because right now I just have it, even though she wants it. The second key is the Mickey's 90th birthday key. Now this one did come out in 2018, I believe. This does have a tag too. However, I had to buy this one off of somebody a year later, because when this came out, I was actually on a cruise. I was out of town, so I was not able to get this in person, and they were very hard. From what I remember, they were only doing 90 keys because it was his 90th birthday per store, and back then keys weren't as sought out as the way they are now. I believe I paid like $100 for this one to buy it secondhand off of somebody, which I'm mad, because a few months before I had bought it, I think it was around like Donald's release that I bought this one. But before that, when like Aladdin had just come out for the movie, it was only $50. And I kick myself every day in the butt that I didn't buy it before. I always thought like, oh, I can always get it later. Yeah, no. Next key up is the Aladdin. Now this one came out with the live action movie. Again, this did come with a tag, but back then I did not care for the tags, so I threw it away. Most of these keys were buy with a item of, I believe when we first started it was $10, then it went up to a $15 minimum. Right now it's at a $20 or $25 minimum depending on the item. And then it was super easy back then. This came out early 2019 or late 2018, somewhere in there. Keys were not that popular, so only a handful of people would line up at my Disney store. I was always within like the first 5 people and show up half an hour before the mall opened. That's not the case anymore. Here is the Donald's 85th birthday key. Now, as you see, it doesn't have the tag connected to it, but there is a tag. It is, as you can see, it is bent and folded and not in the best shape. Again, I did not care about tags for a very long time, so to get it off, I would fold the little cardboard and pull it off to keep the string to hang the string from. But at least I didn't throw it away. With Donald, I started to keep them just in case. Next up is the Toy Story 4 key. This came out with the release of Toy Story 4. This is the first key that was released with a different tip at the end, where the rest of them have all had the little castles. This was the first one to have a different one, which would be the Pixar Luxoba and Lamp. And again, I'm not going to keep repeating myself, but I didn't care about tags, so this one is beat up, as well as I bent it a little bit to untie it from the string. Next one is the D23 Expo Key. Now, I did not go to D23. However, when I saw this popping up on Mercari, I decided that I wanted one because it was a Disney key. I think at that time I was thinking I'd just collect the ones that I was able to get in person by myself, but for some reason this called out to me, and luckily I had bought this one. I only bought one. I should have bought 2. I think I only spent like $30 max after shipping for the D23 key. Now, if you do look at it closely, it does kind of bend awkwardly. That it came like that. I'm not sure if it's like, if I don't want it like, I don't know. But it is a D23 key. These things are going on the market now for resale for I think maybe $100, $200. This tag isn't as messed up as the other ones, but you can still tell that there's little creases in the tags. I'm so glad that I bought it when they first came out. I believe they were $13 at the expo, so it's all right. I'm glad I have that in my collection. Next key up is Frozen 2. This is the first Frozen key, and yes, I said first because there are more. This is the first key that has a clear, any part of it actually, a clear D in this scenario, and the castle is a D as well. Here is the tag. As you can see, if I move it around a bit, it is creased as well. There's the back of it. Not much information on this one, other than it's the Disney Frozen. Next key up is the Christmas key for 2019, I believe it was. Yeah, most likely 2019 Christmas key. It has a little, you can't see because of the flash, Mickey, Minnie. Can't tell who those last two are, but it does have a cute snowflakes. And here is the tag. As you can see, you can't tell there's any creases, but I've gotten better at taking off the tags without messing them up. Now, the cast member keys that I spoke about earlier are similar to these. I believe, if I recall correctly by memory, the colors are flipped, where the D is red, and so is the key castle, and then these red parts are actually green, and then this is just Mickey and Minnie. The design is different in the middle. It doesn't have the little train. Next key up is Minnie. Now this goes with her Positively Minnie line. I believe this was February of 2020, but it is super cute. I love that it matches with the Mickey as opposites. Now her tag is super cute. Another thing where I forgot to mention with Toy Story and Aladdin, and a few of these other ones, I think Tigger has it as well, Star Wars has it, and I think maybe one more. The UK version of the keys tags are different than the US design. So not only does the UK get tags, they get different designs than what the US are. So now there are collectors. Luckily, I don't fall into that category where they want to get the US version and the European version as well. Now, Tigger key is a leap day this year, 2020. February had the leap year, which is February 29th. That only happens once every, I think it's every 4 years. So this was definitely a surprise key. Nobody knew it was coming out. They literally announced it, I believe, maybe the week of or like 3 days before. It's Tigger on both sides. I'm glad that I have this key as well. This Olaf Key. Oh man. Let's start off with the tag. Here's the tag. This came out for, I believe, when the Blu-ray, it does say on digital Blu-ray. But this key, the only way to get this key was to buy both of those limited edition, like collector Elsa and Anna dolls that were $130 each. So I spent $300 in order to get this key for free. Now, you had to buy both dolls in order to get the key. If you bought one, you were not getting it. And this was also a pain in the ass to get because some stores only got, I think it was like my particular Disney store got 5 keys. However, they had 15 Anna dolls and I think it was 15 Elsa dolls and 5 Anna dolls. So only 5 people were gonna get both dolls to get the key. Luckily, I was able to get online and buy both dolls and get the key for free. And then I do not collect dolls, but I do have pictures of them, so I will insert them here. Luckily, I was able to find somebody in the Disney doll collector groups that wanted the dolls and didn't care for the key, so I was able to resell the dolls at face value. So I basically got a free key. I mean, I was hoping I would find somebody that was buying the dolls and didn't care for the keys, but the doll collectors were smart and they're reselling these keys for the value of both dolls together for like $300. So I'm lucky I ended up buying it myself and then reselling dolls for face value and not worrying about have to pay for this key for the price of the dolls. But as before, fully clear, I'm assuming resin key that Olaf has melted and put it next to the first frozen key. I just love it. Now I'm gonna keep these two here. I'm gonna put this back on there. I'm gonna move these two to the side for a second because there is a third frozen key. Now this was a European exclusive only, so I had to pay I think I paid $60 for the key off of eBay, plus another $30 for shipping and import fees because the eBay person really hid fees, and I'm sure there's a way to look at them on eBay, but I didn't notice that until after, and I ended up paying like $90 to get this key. But I'm glad I have it because it's a European exclusive only, same way this Olaf key was a US exclusive only. You were only able to buy it if you bought the 2 dolls, like I said, and in the United States the European market did not get that option. So this is a US exclusive, as I like to call it, and the Snow Queen is a European market exclusive. It's white with this purple gradient and so much glitter. It is the most basic key out of all of them, pretty much, but it's grown on me. And originally I thought I would want to display all of 3 keys together, but in those shadow boxes, this key was in one case, and then I think these 2 ended up in one case together. But luckily now I could just have them all across the board. And as is a European market, I just want to mention that the European tags are actually little booklets. I'm having issues doing this with one hand, but you can see it's a little booklet. Oh, shit. And you can kind of tell the bendy marks on this one, but the European keys all have little booklets. Oh, Star Wars. This was May 4th. May the 4th be with you. Here's the tag. This is the US edition. There is a European edition as well. However, the key is the same. The tag is just different. It's a little booklet and the design on the front is different. I don't like Star Wars. I've never watched anything. Although I do go to the theme parks in Orlando. I do ride the rides. I don't know anything about Star Wars. And this key is my least favorite, honestly. I believe this is like, you can kind of tell that it's like a sticker that's shrink wrapped around the actual key. I kind of have the urge of like trying to peel off the design to see what's under it. I do have a second copy of this key. I think they made way too many, and within the last month or so, and we're currently in October, so in September, all the extras started going into the Disney stores. So I went to the Disney store and got an extra one for trading or whatever the case may be. Everybody and their mother has like 50 of these, so I don't think these are gonna be worth anything anytime soon. Maybe to new collectors eventually when they do sell out, but I do have 2 of these. key is in my top 5. This is the ink and paint one. Now I do have, this is the European version. This is from London. They announced this key months before in the European market, before they even announced that it was coming over to the US. So this is when I got my UK buddy. As you can see, their booklets open up, and my UK buddy was able to get me one and send it over, and I'm so glad. Thank you so much, Chloe. If you're watching this, you're probably not, but she started my UK buddies. Now I do have the US version, as you can see here. Here are the tag comparisons. The tags are the same. Only difference is this one has the booklet where this one does not. And then the keys are the same. Only other difference is this one has the Glendale trademark stamp location, and this one has upside down, London. But I was kind of hoping that every single freaking key would have different characters on it, but that would be too much to ask for, because then you would have people that become obsessive. Excuse my hair, I'm sorry. People that become obsessive and would try to get every single different design. So you can see a side by side, they're exactly the same thing. The ink and paint is also another one that they probably made way too many of, just like the Star Wars keys, and they are now in the Disney stores, and you can buy each of them for $12.99 plus taxes. So I went and got this one along with when I bought the extra this one. So these are our trader ones that I have to go along with the extra Plutos that I have. This one, this is a UK one, or the European market one. As you can see, there it is, London. My trading buddy Chloe got me this key. This key came out, I believe, in August in the European market, and then they decided a month later to announce that, yeah, this key is coming out in the US market. However, it's coming out in November. So luckily I'm not gonna have to fight for this one on the Shop Disney website when it does come out in November, because I already have one. I might attempt to get one just in case for my niece, but I don't need one for my personal collection. Here is the tag, as you can see, 25, and then it's a little booklet, and that's it. Oh, I just dropped it, but Buzz and Woody, and both things on side, and another Let's Go ball with the lamp. Now this was another one that I said, oh, maybe I'll display all of them together, because you know, there is another Toy Story key, which is the last one I have currently, and I will show it to you next. But again, they were in different boxes. The last key currently to date before new ones are released and I've been able to sell them and have to do an update video eventually is Duke Kaboom. This is a Canadian exclusive for Canada Day. Now Canada Day, I believe, is June. I may be wrong. I'm so sorry, Canadians, if you are seeing this. But due to COVID-19, these were not released. We didn't even know they existed until I think it was like the beginning of September, where they just randomly showed up in Canadian stores and the community went nuts. Canadians took full advantage of it and were selling them for $100. Luckily, I was able to get mine for $100. They're not in the US, so the only way you were to get them were to be buying it off of a Canadian resident. And now they are no longer in stores. I believe they're all sold out. There was only a handful of them that were made. And there is the full thing. I think I'm gonna display them all without the tags. Maybe, I don't know, I haven't decided yet if I want tags or no tags. But you'll see that in a future video, or depending on when I film these. But I can fit, I think I already said I can fit 14 across, so I have a lot of display space, and I'm so excited for this. And that's pretty much it for this video. I don't know if I'm probably gonna hold on to this footage and wait. I don't think I can wait until another 2-ish weeks or so. Maybe I will, maybe I don't. most likely not, I'm calling this now, most likely not, I will not wait 2 weeks until the Black Widow key and, or no, the four box set comes out. And then I gotta wait a month for Shop Disney to ship it. I'm just gonna post this up. Maybe there'll be a part 2 of this video later on in a few months, depending on how Disney's knocking out these keys, because right now we have 3 releases within 4 weeks of each other. No, a little bit more. We got 3 releases within a month and a half of each other. So we'll probably do a second video update in the near future or in the future, or depending on how you guys react to this video and you like it or not. But that's it for now. Until next time, bye guys.